doing the grind, but then it started getting really busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just hike in the canyons around here now.
Yeah. Even in the canyon, it's busy, isn't it?
Yeah. But the grind was getting really busy. So, and it's narrow. So I decided to. Oh, there's someone else now. Okay. I'll put it on mute.
Okay. I think they'll, there we go. Hi, guys. Okay. We will get started with weights. 1, 2, 3 pound, whatever feels good. That is all we need. All right. See there? Okay. So let's have feet about hip distance apart. You can be on your mat or off, doesn't matter. All right, shoulders down away from your ears. Take a nice couple of breaths, so really thinking length through your spine. Heels press into the mat. Hi, guys. Okay. So heels press down, spine is long, and then just nice and controlled. We're going to start with arms just wide to the side, and then just control them back down. So as your arms lift, your spine gets a little longer, feel like you're getting a little taller, and then control back down. So again, out, and then control. Go 5 more just like that. Inhale up, and down, and again. And control, go 3 more. Hi, Robin. And down, last 2. And control, and then go 1 more. You're gonna go nice and wide. So stay when you're out there, tiny little bend in your elbow, and then just draw circles with your arms. So just small little circles. Go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, pause, and then go the other way. So again, think of reaching your arms away from one another. They're straight, they're not quite locked. Your spine is still nice and long. Go for 3, go for 2, go for 1. Turn your palms to face one another, arms together, and then arms wide. So go together, palms are facing one another, and then out. You've got 6 here. Starting to feel some movement in those shoulder blades. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears. And remember, no momentum. So you're controlling, pulling your arms together. You're pulling them out. In, open, out. Go 2 more. And out, we're gonna stay out after this one. Let's go out, stay there. Now bend your elbows, pull them into your sides, and then press up and twist. So your palms face behind you. In, press, twist, palms face back. In, press, twist. So really pull those elbows and reach. Pulling in and reach. Go for 5. In, go for 4. In, reach. 3, and reach. Last 2, and reach. Last 1. In, and reach, and then come all the way in. Drop those arms. Give your shoulders a little roll out. All right. Elbows are by your side. Just bend your elbows to 90-degree angles approximately, and then reach the side again. We're gonna hinge our upper body forward. So think of leading with your tail as you come down. So instead of this, we're gonna do that. So your ribs are in front of your pelvis, but you're not just dropping your ribs. Got it? So stay here. Keep those elbows bent. You're just gonna kick your right leg out to this side. So just kick out and then pull in. So you can slide on the mat if you want, or on your ground, on your floor, or you can just kick, lift up and kick, and then pull in. If you have a slider, you can do that, doesn't matter. Kick, and then pull in. The whole point is that you're pressing up through your left heel to keep that left glute nice and active, not letting your body move laterally. Go for 4 more. Out, pause, and then in. 3. Super light on those right toes. Last 2. And in, ready, 1 more. Let's go out and stay out. Hold there, go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Make sure your elbows are away from your waistline so your biceps are still working here. They're just holding those weights. Go for 4, pressing through that left heel down. 3, and down last 2, and down last 1, up, and down, step in, stand up, hold there. So same leg, you're gonna drop down again. I'm gonna show you the side view, tail comes down, pressure into your left heel again, kick that right back, pull it in, kick it back, pull it in, still feeling that pressure into your left heel, out, and in, go for 5, press out, hips stay still, in, 4, out, and in last 3, and in last 2, and in, ready, 1 more, let's go out, stay there, hold, keep your elbows by your waistlines, just extend those arms, bring them back, extend those arms, bring them back for 6, constant pressure into your left heel is pretty much under your left knee for 4, and in, go for 3, reach, control, in, go for 2, and in, ready, 1 more, let's go out, hold them there, up an inch, down an inch, add the leg, up an inch, down an inch, so arms and a little lift off of that left heel. So straightening your left leg slightly, and down, go 5, and down, keep that right hip rolled forward, 3, and down, nice long spine, 2, and down, last one, let's go up, drop down, bend those elbows in, step that right forward, stand all the way up. Give those legs a little shake, and then we're gonna do the same thing other side. This time, instead of having our palms face up, they're gonna face one another for our holds. So feet about hip distance apart, feel that even weight from side to side. Bend those elbows to 90-degree angles, palms are facing one another, and then hinge forward. Tail leads, ribs are tight around your center. Arms stay still, kick that left out, and in. Exhale, and in, feel those abs engaged to keep you steady, and back. You've got 5, and in, go for 4, and in, constant pressure up into your right heel now, go for 2, and in, last one, let's go out, and in, and then kick it out, and stay, holding there, drop down 2 inches, and up to, think of your tail shooting behind you, down 2, and up 2, go for 5, down 2, and up 2, light touch with those left toes, and up, go for 3, abs are connecting, 2, belly button to spine, last 1, and in, step that foot in, stand all the way up, give those shoulders a roll down, same position with your arms, so palms are still facing one another, dropping down, hold, ribs tight around your center, elbows 1 inch from your waistline. Now kick that left out, pause, lengthen your spine, left hip is rolled forward, and in. And in. By left hip rolled forward, I mean you're not doing that, you're not opening out, keep your hips square. In, and in. Exhale out, inhale back. Pressing up through your right heel the whole time. Go for 4. And in, go for 3. And in, go for 2. And back, ready, 1 more, let's go back. Stay there, constant pressure up through this right heel, just arms. Extend and bend. And bend, reaching long and in, constant pressure through that right heel. You've got 4, exhale, and back, 3, and back, feel that spine lengthening. Last one, hold back, there. Arms out an inch, and in an inch. Now drop into your leg an inch, and up. Leg, and up. So arms moving side to side. You're bending your right leg an inch more. You've got 4, 3, 2, last 1, and keep your arms there, step your right foot forward, keep pressure into both heels, reach your arms in front of you, hold it there, I'm going to move a little bit, we're going to open arms out, and in, constant pressure into both of those heels, feel your core stay nice and connected, ribs stay tight around your center, wide and back, wide, control, go for 4. It totally looks like I'm arching my back, I'm really not. Keep that back nice and strong. And in. Last 2. And in. Last 1. Hold back there. Turn your palms to face down. Last little bit. 2 inches back. 2 inches forward. Squeeze back and forward. You can feel your shoulder blades just squeezing together a little bit at the back of the movement. So here they squeeze and release. Go for 5. And in. Go for 4. And in. 3 more. And back last 2. And back last 1. And all the way forward. Standing up, give those shoulders a little roll down. Very good, guys. Okay, we're gonna come onto our mats now. So let's have our feet about hip distance apart. Wiggle it a bit now. Here we go. All right, so have your weights handy. Feet hip distance apart, weights down by your side so you can grab them as we need them. All right, so just start with your palms facing up. Shoulder blades are flat against the mat, collarbones nice and wide at the front of your body. Think about your ribs at the front of your body, hugging around your core. And then your rib cage at the back is just heavy towards the mat. So remember, I don't want you to press your back down, but I want you to think about the back of your rib cage staying heavy. We should all have just a little space under our lumbar spine, just that natural curve there. And then your tailbone is heavy. Hip bones are square to the ceiling, even weight in your feet. And just take a nice couple of breaths here, really letting your body be heavy and melt into this natural neutral. So once you are feeling like you're in neutral, I want you to grab hold of your weights. If you want, you don't have to use weights, you can do this without. And we're gonna reach our right arm up to the ceiling. So when you reach your arm up, your shoulder blade, I'll show you this side, your shoulder blade wants to lift, right? Don't let that happen. We're gonna lift one arm up, shoulder blade stays flat against the mat. Lift your other arm up, that shoulder blade stays flat against the mat, and hold there. So your collarbones are still wide, you're still nice and neutral through your shoulders. To start, just open your right arm out to this side, your left shoulder blade stays glued to the mat, and then press back up. Right shoulder blade stays glued to the mat, open your left, and then press back up. So essentially, your weight on your shoulders stays completely even though you're bringing the weight over and your shoulder wants to lift. The challenge is to keep your shoulders totally steady. So just notice as you're doing this, this could be a very simple, swing those arms around, really think control. So before you move, press your shoulder blades down, open out, you're really reaching, and then pull in, and then go left, opening out. Right shoulder blade stays flat against the mat, and then come right back up. Do that again. You're gonna go 2 more each way. As you're doing this, just notice if you have tension in the back of your neck or if you're able to stay relaxed. And press. 1 more right, keeping that left shoulder blade flat. And up. And switch. Right shoulder blade stays flat against the mat. Press back up, now stay. Now from here, keep your arms where they are, shoulder blades stay heavy. Open just your right knee out to the side. So little knee drops, except you're not dropping at all. It is a silly name for this exercise. Left leg opens, it doesn't drop, you're controlling the movement out, and then you're pulling back. So as your right knee opens to the side, your left hip gets a little bit heavier. You don't want your hips to move at all. And then pull in. And as your left opens, your right hip stays heavy. And then come right back through center. Let's do it again. So opening out, really think control. That's your transverse, keeping your pelvis still. And in, and then go left. And pull back in. 1 more each way. Remember, when your right opens, your left needs to stay facing straight up to the ceiling. And when your left opens, your right needs to stay facing straight up. Ready? We're gonna do same arm, same leg. So right arm, right knee, open out. Pause when you're there. Left arm is reaching, left knee is reaching. And then press all the way up. And then go left and left. Hold. And then all the way back. Switching again. Inhale out. And then go left. Inhale out. Keep that right side nice and heavy all the way back. One more each way here. Exhale as you press, keeping that pelvis nice and still. Shoulder girdle is totally still as well. Press all the way up, holding there. Now let's go both arms, both legs, open them out. And then squeeze inner thighs together. Press those shoulder blades into the mat as you come up. Go for 5 more. Inhale out. Thinking about those abs deepening as you squeeze everything back together. Shoulder blades flat on the mat. Pelvis is still for 2. Ribs are still hugging around your center. And then go 1 more. Opening out with control. Exhale, squeeze all the way back up and then stay right there. Okay, so from here, all I want you to do is tuck your chin in slightly. Exhale as you peel up to flexion. So reach your weights towards your knees, holding there. If this bothers your neck, you're welcome to go stick with this, which is what we often will do. You can bring your hands behind your head, but if not, if you want this extra little challenge, we are going to tuck our chin, reach those weights down towards your knees, holding here again. Ribs, remember, have slid down to your hips. Your pelvis is still, and then slow and controlled, lowering back down. Go for 2 more like this, tucking your chin. Take a peek at that pelvis, making sure it's still. Depending on how much weight you have, this could be very, very difficult. Nod and peel up, holding there, especially on the way up. The weight wants to just drag you back, right? Really control the movement. I just have 1 pound, but depending on what you have, it might feel different. Tuck your chin. This time we're gonna stay up. Holding right here. Now turn your palms to face up to the ceiling, reach down by your thighs, hold right here. So keep your tailbone tipping away, lower your arms 2 inches and lift them 2. Lower and lift. So if you're ditching the weights and you have your hands behind your head, you can come up 1 inch and back 1 inch with your upper body. Whatever feels good for you. Up 1 inch and down 1 inch, go for 4. And down, go for 3. And down, last 2. No movement in your hips, last 1. Up 1 inch, down 1 inch, and then float those arms back up to the ceiling, roll all the way down, holding there. Now instead of upper body, we're gonna bring our lower body up now. So belly button to spine, press into your heels, lifting your hips, holding there. So remember when you're up here, your knees are reaching away from the top of your head. So that's the oppositional pull in your body. Your heels are pressing into the mat to keep those glutes nice and lifted and active. So keep those heels pressing. Shoulder blades stay flat against the mat and then roll your way back down. Your knees are still reaching away from you. Even as you roll down, come to neutral, take a breath. And again, belly button to spine. Lifting knees, reach away from the top of your head. Inner thighs are squeezing toward your midline. They're not touching. But feel that gentle squeeze so they're not flopping out. Rolling down. On this one, we're gonna stay up. Keep those shoulder blades flat against the mat. Press up, holding there. So keep your knees reaching away from the top of your head. Keep your shoulder blades flat against the mat. From here, open out, and then press. And then go left, opening out. No movement in your body. It's just these arms. Think about that stability through your shoulders, through your core, out, and in. Ready? Let's add on. Right arm opens, hips drop. Inhale down. Down with control. Ribs come down as well. Don't leave them behind. And down. We're gonna go 1 more each side here. Exhale as you press. 1 more left. Exhale as you press, holding at the top. Roll your way down, nice and controlled. Press each vertebra down. Your tail tips away at the end of the movement. And then come back up. Belly button to spine. Exhale, press, and lift. So holding those hips up there, keep your ribs tight around your center. we're gonna reach both arms overhead. So when your arms lift, your ribs want to lift, don't let them. And then press. So instead of the oppositional pull down, bring your knees away from the top of your head. Now you have hands away from your knees, reach. And then come back in. Do that again, reaching long, knees reaching away from those fingertips or from your weights. And back in, one more like this. Holding there. Now give an extra press into your left heel and lift your right. Hold right there, shoulder blades flat against the mat. Now pull that right leg to tabletop. Holding there. If this doesn't feel good or you feel your back in any kind of pulling kind of a way, bring your toes down. Just keep your toes of your right foot on the mat like I have there. All right, if not, keep your leg up here. Now from here, just drop your hips and then press your hips. You can also bring your arms down to provide a little more stability if you're feeling your back. Inhale down, press through your left heel to lift. Inhale down, press through that left heel and lift. Now you can add those arms if you want. Reach your arms, drop your hips, and press. Watch those ribs, keep them tight around your center. 4 more like this. Pressing through that left heel as you lift. Go for 3. All that left glute and hamstring, right? 2. 1 more. Holding there, bring those right toes down. All the way to the mat. Take a breath when you're down there. Holding. We'll do the same thing other way. So we're gonna start with both feet down. So keep them both down to start. Hold up there, hold at the top. All right, so arms reach away from the top of your head, ribs stay tight around your center, and press. So remember, it's your hands reaching away from your knees. Now really find that length, reach, 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 and up. Think about that midline squeeze as well. Even though your inner thighs aren't touching, imagine you have a ball between them. Squeeze towards that ball. That's going to be really important as we lift our left leg. We're going to go 1 more, just arms here. Reach. Press up, stay. Now give an extra press into your right heel. Right knee reaches away, right inner thigh squeezes toward that imaginary ball. Lift your left heel. Ready? Float it up. Hold there. Now drop those hips and press. Inhale down. So you can keep your arms exactly like this if you want. You can also lower them to the mat if you feel your back. You can bring your toes down and go from here. Whatever feels good, or if you want the full version, reach those arms away from that right knee and then press. Inhale down. Go for 4. Go for 3. Last 2. Ready, 1 more. All the way up, holding there, lower those left toe, ball, heel, roll all the way down to the mat. Take a nice breath, and then just lower those weights down by your side. Turn those palms to face up. Let's do a couple more hip rolls, just getting some movement back through our spine. So lifting nice and high, ribs stay tight around your center. Feel that press through your heels as you roll down. Press each vertebra down 1 at a time. Tailbone is the last piece as you tip your pelvis away from you. And then do that again. Rolling. Knees are reaching. Hold. And then again, slow and controlled. All the way down. We're going to go 1 more. Belly button to spine, press up. And slow and controlled. Right on down. All right, so hold in neutral. Feel the back of your rib cage staying nice and heavy. Front of your ribs are drawing toward one another. Keep that upper body nice and relaxed. So palms facing up is a good way to keep those shoulders flat from gripping onto the mat. So we'll lift just our right heel, light touch with your right toes, and then lift your left. So left heel, so both heels are lifted, super light on your toes, so much more work in our core. From here, lift your right leg to tabletop. Lift your left leg to tabletop and stay. So remember, if you feel your back, bring your knees in closer, that's totally fine. Move from there. And if you don't feel your back, knees above your hips is a great place to be. Now I want you to squeeze your thighs right together. Your legs are gonna move as one piece. You're gonna move your thighs 2 inches away from you and then pull them back in. So make sure you're not just dropping your toes down, that really does nothing. And you don't need to straighten your legs yet. We're just gonna start small. We're gonna get towards that. Open, thighs away, and then thighs in. So as your thighs move away, pull your belly button deeper into your spine, ribs tighten up around your center, and then pull back. So you can see I'm not moving very far at all. If done correctly, it is a ton of work. You can see I can barely talk. Go for 4. Abs pulling in, ribs stay tight. Keep the back of your neck heavy, so don't let yourself do this. Last 2. Pulling in with control. And then go one more out that little bit. And then stay. So do not let your hips move. I see a little hip movement. Your pelvis does not move, it's just your thighs. From here, reach your right leg out. Don't let your left come in closer. And then bring your right back in. Now go left. Don't let your right come in closer. And then come back. You can bring your hands on your thighs if you want. Out and in. Don't let that bent leg creep in closer. That makes it much easier. And in, taking your time. And back. Back of your rib cage is heavy. And back. Let's do that again. Exhaling out. And back. Go left. And in one more right. Exhale as you reach all the way back. One more left. Exhale as you reach all the way in. Lower those right toes. Lower your left toes. Lower those heels. Take a breath. Extend your legs out in front of you now. So just about hip distance apart, maybe a little closer. Don't go too wide. All right, now bring those hands behind your head. Elbows hover off the mat. We'll get upper abs going here as well. So tucking your chin, coming up to flexion. So holding there. Ribs slide down towards the top of your hip bones. Your pelvis is totally still. You still have that little space behind your low back, right? So I'm here, I'm looking towards my toes. From there, I'm gonna bring my right leg to tabletop. Hold there, my left leg is still reaching. And then send your right leg back out. Now go left in. Keep the right hip nice and heavy, and then reach it all the way back out. So as your right leg pulls in, that left hip stays heavy. And reach. As your left leg pulls in, your right hip stays heavy. So your pelvis doesn't shift side to side. Go one more each way here. And reach. And then go one more left. And reach, you're ready, bring your right leg in, hold it in. Keep that left hip nice and heavy. Pelvis is completely even. From here, come up 1 more inch and stay. You're gonna rotate towards that right bent leg. Your left shoulder blade comes off the mat. Left ribs come towards the top of your right hip and then come back through center. So exhale. Your inhale isn't a break. You're not dropping all the way down. You're just untwisting. So really think about that. Twist, stay high, untwist. Twist, stay high as you untwist. Go for 5. Staying high as you untwist. 4, way harder, right? Twist and untwist. 3, twist, untwist. Last 2, untwist. Last 1, untwist, stay. Reach your right leg away from your left fingertips. Come all the way in, rotate. So you're coming down, reaching fingertips from toes, all the way in for a rotation. Go for 6, inhaling back. Exhale, left ribs to the top of your right hip, pelvis stays still. And all the way back. You've got 3, You're not resting on the mat when you're back here though. Remember, that's a long line, reaching fingertips from toes. 2, reaching back. Last one all the way up. Stay here, left shoulder blade is off the mat. Hips are nice and even. Reach 1 more inch. You have 8 little inches. 7. Keep that left leg reaching. 6. 5. 4. Belly button to spine. 3. 2. Exhale. Last one. Back through center. Left arm back. Reach your right toes. Lower your upper body. Take a little bit of a breath. Feel those, guys? I hope so. We're going to do the same on the other side. So just let your head be heavy in your hands. Remember, you're going to start the movement by reaching your toes away from the top of your head. So thinking length already before we even start moving. Tuck your chin in gently. Exhale, peeling forward, holding there. So keeping your right hip heavy as you bring your left leg in. So remember, we're going to do that little rotation. Right shoulder blade off the mat, right ribs towards the top of your left hip. Right hip stays heavy, super important. And then come back to center, don't drop all the way down. So little movement across and untwist. Twist and untwist. Go for 5. And back. Go for 4. And back. Go for 3. And back. Last 2. And back. Last one. Exhale, twist across. Stay there. You ready? You're going to untwist. Reach those left toes away from your right fingertips. Come all the way in and rotate. So reaching long. Now you're lowering to a long line all the way in. Go for 6. Inhale back. And 5. Inhale back, reaching fingertips from toes. 4. 3, lengthen, reach. Last 2, your right leg is still reaching as well, right? Ready for those little inches? Reach back, up, holding there. Right shoulder blade is off the mat. Right hip stays heavy. 1 more inch and back. 1 more inch and back for 6. 5. 4. Exhale. 3. Exhale. Last 2. Keep that right hip heavy. Last one. Reach back through center. Send that leg out. Lower your upper body. Hug those knees and have a little roll around one way and the other. We're going to come onto our sides. I'm trying to get out the door. It's getting hot in here today. Okay, so let's lie on our left side. Okay, left side, have a weight handy. We're gonna start just lying flat with your legs at 90-degree angles. So your shins are up at the front edge of the mat, right? Knees in line with your hips, heels in line with your knees. Right angle and neutral spine. So just be aware, it's easy to tuck your tail under here. Don't let yourself do that. Keep your tail back, sitting bones are wide. Left side of your rib cage is lifting away from the mat. And then all we'll do is lift that right leg up. So get up to hip height and then stay when you're there. Perfect. Okay, so just circling this leg around. So making your circles as big as you can, keep your hips still. So the bigger your circle, the harder it is. So just do what feels good, but challenge yourself. Thinking about your pelvis staying still. That's your belly button pulling into your spine. Your transverse is doing that. Your left ribs need to stay lifted. That's super important. Your right waistline needs to stay long. We're going to go 3 more here. Go for 2. Go for 1. Hold and then circle the other way. So again, that thigh bone is making the circles. Your pelvis stays still. You're still neutral. Go for 5. Go for 4. 3. Last 2. Last 1, and then hold. So you're at your 90-degree angle with your legs still. You're just at about hip height. Now from here, lower to a hover, and then lift back up. Inhale, hover, pause, up, pause. Inhale, pause, up, pause. Good, go 6 more like that, taking your time, keeping that tail sticking out behind you. It's kind of reaching back, down, and up. Go for 4. 3, keep those ribs tight around your center. Last 2, last 1, up to hip height, stay there. Reach out through that right heel. Kick all the way out, reach nice and long, lengthen that whole right side of your body, and then bend back in. All the way to your starting point, and then all the way up. Kick through your heel, reaching nice and long. Hold, you can squeeze a little bit behind you if you want that extra bit of glute, and then bend in again. Go 6 more. Reach, keep it at hip height, slow as you bend in. And 5. Notice what's happening with your waistlines. It should be nothing. They're both staying nice and long. Don't let those left ribs press down. Don't let that right waistline crunch in. It wants to, right? Last 2, inhale, bending. Exhale, kick through that heel, reach long. Last 1, bending in. Exhale, kick all the way out, and then reach out through your toes. So now you're reaching your right toes away from the top of your head. From here, lift that leg up, and then lower back down. Exhale, up. Inhale down. So lifting really as high as you can keep your left ribs lifted off the mat. If you go too high, your left ribs are gonna press. It's not about height, it's about stability. Remember, think about your necks. Necks are long. So if your computer isn't right in front of you, try not to look at it. You wanna be looking straight ahead. Exhale, 3, and lower down. We're almost done here. Exhale, 2. Although this is not the last one. Exhale, 1, stay there, that was the trick. Last one here, we're gonna do rainbows. Tap the front edge of your mat, and then tap the back edge of your mat. Tap the front edge of your mat, and then up and tap the back edge of your mat. So lifting up and over like you're drawing a rainbow, up and over, you got it. Go for 5. Keep those hips nice and still. And 4. Making your rainbow as big as you can, keeping your pelvis still. 3, last 2, up and over, up and over. Last 1, up and over, and then back, and then bend that leg in, holding there, take a breath. Reach in front of you, or reach and grab, I need to reach in front of me, my weight was in front of me, but reach wherever you need to grab your weight, all right? And then reach that right arm straight up to the ceiling. So keeping your hips stacked, shoulders are stacked, just float that right arm down. It's gonna come down just in line with your right shoulder, and then lift it back up. So thinking about your shoulder blades, staying glued against a wall. So when you reach your arm forward, your shoulder blade wants to kind of move, roll forward. Don't let it. So it's just that arm up and then control back down. Up, reach, and then control, resisting down. You got it. 5 more. Thinking about your left ribs, staying that little bit lifted. Still think about that neck. Keep it nice and long. 3. Imagine those shoulder blades are against a wall. Don't let that right one peel off the wall as your arm comes forward. Ready? You got 1 more. Reaching forward, all the way up, and then stay right there. Now from here, you're gonna reach that arm overhead. Your palm faces the way you're looking, and then squeeze that arm back up. So think about your waistlines as you're doing this. This is, of course, an arm exercise, but let's also think about what is happening in our core. Remember, in every exercise in Pilates, our core is involved. So instead of letting your ribs lift with your arm as it goes overhead, your core, your obliques, are keeping your ribs tight around your center. That is what we want. Don't let those ribs lift. Go for 3. Reaching with control. Right shoulder does not come up to your ear. Go for 2. Even if you can only reach a little bit without your shoulder reaching up, that's fine. Go for 1 more, reach long. Come all the way up and then stay here. You ready? Last little bit. Keep your elbow where it is. Bend your elbow and then reach. How are those left ribs doing? Are they still lifting? You got it. 5. Exhale up. 4. Exhale, reach. 3, keep that elbow totally still. It's pointing up to the ceiling the whole time. That's the most important bit. Last one, all the way up, and then lower that arm down, just in line with your shoulder. Take a breath here. Stack those shoulders. You ready? We're gonna do a little twist. So reach this arm up to the ceiling. As your arm reaches up, start to let your right shoulder roll behind you. You're gonna follow the weight with your eyes. You can let that weight come all the way down to the right side of your body. Just bring your gaze towards your hand and the weight. Let that nice little twist open you up a bit. So feel your right shoulder blade is getting heavier. The right side of your rib cage is getting a little bit heavier as your knees reach the opposite way. So just a nice couple of breaths there. And then let's bring that right arm all the way back up. So thinking shoulder stability. So as your arm gets towards the ceiling, feel that right shoulder stack back on top of your left, and then just float that arm down in front of you. Awesome. And then we're gonna flip over. Same thing, other side. So keep your weight handy for that arm portion. So you're gonna start with your legs at that 90-degree angle. So remember, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Yeah, if you need to, like my computer is in a bad position. I want to have my computer right in front of me so my neck stays long, right? And that is a big part of this. Okay, so now once you're in position, keep your right ribs a little bit lifted, keep your left waistline long, lift that left leg up so you're at hip height, and then just stay here. So find your neutral if you're not there already. Tail is reaching behind you, ribs stay tight, and then just circling this leg around. So as you're circling, think about your pelvis staying still. Think about how your core is helping with that. Belly button pulling gently in towards your spine as you circle, keeping everything nice and still. Go for 4. Go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold and then go the other way. Smooth circles. Hips stay totally still. Go 6. And 5. Remember, make your circles as big as you can keep those hips still. 4. 3. 2. Last one, holding there. From here, lower to a hover and up. Lower to a hover and up. Inhale down. Inhale down. Go for 4 more. Abs connect as you lift. So instead of pressing your right ribs down, keep those ribs lifting. It's just that left glute. Your right glute is stabilizing a bit, but lots of left glute here. Last one, you ready? Exhale up, stay there, reaching out through your heel. Reach nice and long, lengthen, and then bend back to that starting position of hold. Waistline stay long. Kick through that heel, keep that leg at hip height. Exhale 6, reaching long. And inhale in. Go for 5. Remember, you can kick a little bit behind you if you want. Right here, kick back slightly, as long as your hips stay stacked. That's all good. 4. And in 3. And in last 2. And in last 1, kick all the way out. Stay right there, reaching through your toes. Lower your leg to a hover. And then lift back up. So reaching toes away from the top of your head, reaching through that whole left waistline. Your right ribs are staying lifted, so that waistline is long as well. As you're touching towards the ground, you're lengthening this left side. As you're lifting, you're still lengthening. Ready? 3. Go for 2. 1 more. Exhale, up, stay there. Now rainbows. Draw half rainbow towards the front edge of your mat. Draw the back half of the rainbow towards the back edge of your mat. Up in the middle and then down. Up in the middle and down. Go for 5. And go for 4. And down, go for 3. And down, last 2. Up and down. Up and down. Last 1. Up and down. Up and down. And then straight out, bend that leg all the way in. And then grab that weight in your left hand. Keep those shoulders nice and stacked. You're gonna reach that left arm in front of you. All right, so your left shoulder blade now is glued against an imaginary wall, the same wall your right shoulder blade is against, right? So you're reaching up and then you're controlling back down. So the up bit is pretty easy, even though you're lifting the weight at that point, because your shoulder blades will stay stacked. We're thinking about this exercise in terms of shoulder stability. The way down is way harder because your weight, even if you did this without a weight, your arm is being pulled out of alignment, right? So really fight to keep those shoulders stacked up. Inhale down. As I'm lowering, all I'm thinking about is my left shoulder blade staying against that imaginary wall. You could even do this against a wall. I think I did that last Wednesday. It's very, very difficult. Up and control. Go 2 more like this. Reaching and control, and then go 1 more. You're going to go all the way up. Stay there. Your palm is still facing forward. You're going to reach this arm overhead without letting your left shoulder creep up to your ear like that. Bring it all the way back up. So inhale, reach. Good. So go 6 like this. Reaching. And 5. Let's reach. Good job, you guys. 4. So nice and steady. Reaching. And up. Last couple here. Don't let that shoulder move. Don't let those right ribs press down. As you get tired, they want to press down to keep you steady, right? Use your core. Last one, you're going to go reach. You're going to come all the way up and then stay there. Keep your elbow where it is. Just bend. Elbow is still pointing to the ceiling, right? And then extend. So your tricep is lengthening here, 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 here. That is the hard part of the exercise. Extending it, of course, you're picking up the weight, but that's not as difficult as this. This is the eccentric contraction of your tricep. That's what we want to feel. And reach. Go for 6. Slow, 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 slow. And reach. Resisting gravity, right? Always, always. You can turn this from a very easy exercise into a very difficult one. I just have 1 pound weights and I'm really feeling this. Up. And I think I'm pretty strong. Down. And up. It's all that mind over matter idea, right? Go 2 more. Resisting. And up. Go 1 more. Resisting down. All the way up. And then lower that arm down so it's just at shoulder height. Hold there, take a breath, and then come all the way up. As you get to about shoulder height, you're gonna start to rotate that shoulder back, reach behind you. You can let it rest on the mat. Reach your right arm the opposite way, so really feeling fingertips reaching from fingertips. Left shoulder blade stays heavy. Open up that left side of your rib cage, have that nice twist. Here you go, girls. 1 more nice deep breath. And then let's bring that left arm all the way back up. Shoulders are going to stack and then just float that arm down. Ditch your weight. And then let's come up to a 4-point kneel. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. All right, so you're about there. Worst shirt. My ribs are still tight around my center. My tail, my pelvis is neutral, so my tail is kind of lifting up to the ceiling. I'm not here. I'm just here. All right, so feel a nice even pressure into each one of your hands. Your elbows are not locking. Your knees are pressing through the mat. And as you press your knees into the mat, think about how that engages your core. So knees press down, you should feel your abs engage a little bit. Now from here, just curl your toes under. Don't change anything else. All I want you to do is lift straight up to the ceiling, half an inch. So literally half an inch. Higher is actually easier. So you're lifting half an inch and pause. And then slow as you lower back down. I really need to get a different mat with all the black on black. It doesn't work, does it? So elbows, tiny bend, and then exhale. Knees are lifting half an inch, and then they're lowering back to the mat. Do that again. Exhale. Inhale as they drop down. Really noticing if you're moving forward. That changes it a lot. So don't do that. Lift straight up. And lower. You ready? We're going to do one more, and we're going to stick. Belly button to spine, ribs tight around your center. Tiniest bend in your elbows. Exhale up. So my knees are half an inch off the mat. Trust me, they are. Holding here. So take a nice couple of deep breaths. Tightening up those ribs around your center. Holding. We're going to lift our knees one more inch up, and then bring them down an inch. Just one more inch. And 1 inch down. Exhale, 5. And down, tiny 4. And down, go for 3. Tiny lift. No change in your spine. 2. Watch those elbows. Ready? 1 more inch up. Hold. Nice and slow. Lower those knees down. Uncurl your toes. Sit back to a shell stretch. Give your wrists a little shake out. Okay. Ready? From here. You okay on wrist for another one? Hands under your shoulders again, knees under your hips. You can do this on your elbows if you want to. You'll just omit the arm portion of it, which is absolutely fine. All right? So we're here. We're going to kick our right leg straight out behind us. Do not let your weight shift to the left. And then reach those right toes across the room. Top of your head is reaching away from your toes. Now bend your right knee. You're going to curl your spine. Tail drops as you bend that right knee in. And then reach all the way out. So if you're on your elbows, that is all you're going to do. If you're on your hands, add an arm. Reaching fingertips from toes. Curl all the way in. And then lengthen all the way out. Again. Dropping that tail. And reach. So as you're curling your spine, as you're coming to this position here, your weight wants to shift left. Try not to let it. You got 4. You have 4 more. And reach. You have 3 more. Deepening those abdominals as you curl in. Last 2, watch that right elbow. Don't let it lock. And reach 1 more. Go all the way up. Drop that hand if you had your hand up. Drop that knee. Again, sit yourself back. Give those wrists a shake. Shoulders a little roll out. Nice couple of deep breaths there. All right. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, hands, elbows, doesn't matter. Even weight on those knees. You ready? Kick your left leg out. Hold there. Lengthen your spine. Top of your head reaches from your left toes as you lift. Watch your left elbow. Do not lock it. You're going to reach that right arm if you want to take that option. And then curl all the way in, scooping and rounding. And then lengthening out. Remember, your weight is going to want to shift laterally. On this side, it's going to want to shift to the right. Do not let that happen. Reaching in. You've got 4 more. Drop that tail, scoop those abs, and reach. You've got 3. And reaching along, 2 more. And lengthen, last one. All the way out, bring that hand in, bring that leg in, and again, sit yourself back. Give those shoulders a roll out. All right. Now from here, let's come onto our elbows. You can all come onto your elbows, unless it's uncomfortable on your elbows. Stay on your hands. All good. So elbows down. We're going to come into a little plank here. So elbows underneath your shoulders approximately. It's a better position. And then kick your right leg out. So reaching through your right heel when you kick your leg out, and then kick your left. So hold here. Really feel the top of your head reaching away from these heels. Now I want you to drop your right hip down to the right side. You're going to twist your hips so your hips are kind of facing to the left. And then drop your left hip. Your hips are facing to the right. Do that again. Up and over. Now it's like you're drawing a rainbow with your hips. So you're coming up and down. And then again up and down. Picking up that right hip. Feel those right obliques. Dropping to the left. Pick up that left hip. Left obliques. Right. You've got 1 more each way. After this last one, right. Exhale. Last one left. Back through center, holding there, reach heels away from the top of your head. Float your knees down. Sit yourself back again. 1 more we will do before I stretch. I've been teaching all my classes over this week. I'm going to try not to do that. All right, so hands back under your shoulders, knees under your hips again. So finding that nice long spine. Now from here, watch those elbows. We're not going to lock them. We're going to kick our right leg out again. So reach through that right heel and then kick your left out. So hold here. Take a nice couple of breaths, lengthening your spine, feeling those hips stay lifted. You're going to bend your right knee into your right elbow and then kick it back out. Right knee into your left elbow, so it kind of twists across and then back through center. And then right knee out to this side, so your inner thigh faces down, and then kick back. Left knee to left elbow, kick it back. Left knee to right elbow, kick it back. Left knee to the side, so your inner thigh faces down. Back, you got 1 more set. Right knee to right elbow, and back. Right knee to left elbow, and back. Right knee to the side, inner thigh faces down. Last set, left to left, and back. Left to right, little twist, and back. Left to the side, inner thigh faces down, and back. Pull those abs in, press yourself back to a downward dog. Hold when you are there. Take a nice couple of deep breaths, dropping those heels, pressing those palms into the mat, keeping those shoulders away from your ears, and walk those feet out. Bend your left knee, press your right. Switch. And switch. 1 more each way. And then drop both heels nice and low. Take a nice couple of breaths there. Right leg up to the ceiling, bend that knee in, turn it out, and then sink down into a little pigeon stretch. If that feels good. There we go. So keeping your right thigh turned out, instead of having your knee pointing forward, try and keep that knee turning out to the side. You'll really open up that hip, which would feel good. And then you can come down as far as it feels good for you. Take a nice couple of breaths, and that left hip is still heavy. And then curl those left toes under. Set that right back. Press all the way back to that up stretch or downward dog again. Left leg up, bend it in, turn it out, and then again drop down. Take a nice couple of deep breaths there. Again, coming as low as feels good. Keep that left knee pointing out to the left side. Right hip stays heavy. Nice couple of breaths there. And we'll curl those right toes under. Send your left back. Press yourself back. Drop those heels low. And then walk your hands into those feet. Hang in that forward fold. Give your head a little rock back and forth. And then when you are ready, we will come all the way up to standing. You can roll on up. Give those shoulders a little roll down. And you are all finito. Thank you, guys. Oh, right on time. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed with myself. I've been teaching my classes like 5-7 minutes over. I can't find my watch and I'm all out of sorts. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you hopefully next Wednesday. They're not turning the volume on for you, I'm sorry, but it's lovely to see you all. Bye.